Hey there everybody, Phil here for AndroidCentral.com, and we've been playing all weekend with the Motorola Cliq 2 on T-Mobile, so here it is. We actually saw this guy at CES where it was announced, and we've got it again. So what you got is a 4-row sliding keyboard. It's in a cool little honeycomb design. The keyboard actually reminds me a lot of the Droid and Droid 2s. They're a little plasticky, the keys are. They're raised up, but nice and clicky, so actually I like this better than the Droid 2. The slider has a little bit of play in it, but not a whole lot, so it's pretty good. Up top you got the power button and 3.5mm headphone jack. On the side you got micro USB with a little indicator light for when it's charging. And let's see, on the other side you have a camera button and an honest to goodness vibrating switch, right? We used to see these on old phones back in the day, so you got a volume rocker and then a switch to actually silence the thing. I love that. I would love to see that return. Let's pop the battery cover off, take a look inside, because things get interesting again. There's your SIM card, there's your micro SD card, and yet another new way to have to get the card out. So you got to open up this flap, and now you can pry out the card using your fingernail. This one's not spring-loaded. It's weird, we're seeing more and more just new ways of keeping the cards stuck in there, but this one's not too bad. But it is different, so you just need to be aware of it. Pop out the battery, pretty simple. Put it back in and fire this guy up, shall we? The battery cover is a little thin, and it takes a little pressure to get put on there correctly. As you can see, I struggle with it a little bit here. Come on, you can do it. But once it's on, it's on. It's fine. It's not going to come off. There we go. It's tough. Gotta use some muscle on that thing. All right. Let's fire it up and see what we got in the box while we're waiting. We got a charger and USB cable and headphones. How about that? Let's get rid of all this stuff. Do have manuals. Yeah. Don't need any of that. Okay. So Cliq 2 is firing up, and there we go. Now, I've already booted this up once when you boot it up for the first time, and they'll probably do this for you in the store. You will have to sign into a MotoBlur account. This does have the full MotoBlur experience, so it, get you signed into email and social networking, Facebook, Twitter, stuff like that. So I've already done that, got that out of the way. But once you have a MotoBlur account, it's as simple as giving them your email and password. So pretty simple. See, as you open and shut the keyboard, the phone will in fact rotate. It's a little slow right this second because it's still booting up. Come on, little phone. There you go. But otherwise, it's a fairly stock Android experience. You have kind of the same widgets that we have on the Droids, right? On the Droid X and the Droid 2. I like those widgets a lot, and they are resizable, which is very cool. You got 7 home screens. You got a little music widget there. That's cool. You got your quick dialers, calendar, weather, notes, Google search. And then you can hop back and forth by using the buttons down on the bottom as you're flipping through. So not a whole lot of apps installed that we weren't expecting to see. 3G mobile hotspot. You have your accounts here. So you can see MotoBlur is signed in for better or for worse. There's Blockbuster. It's a T-Mobile app. So T-Mobile's got a little bit of stuff on there, so that's their little featured apps, and all that does is take you back to the market. Let's see what else. Your standard Google apps, Quick Office, Wi-Fi calling, very nice. There's a nice feature on T-Mobile. Well, let's see, there's the camera button, so you hold it down, and bingo, fires up the camera. And I still like Motorola's camera software a lot. It's got panoramic built in. Very handy, very cool. Let's give the keyboard a test here, shall we? No, don't worry about the web search. Android Central. You can do it. You'll notice I am on Wi-Fi here because if you haven't heard, yeah, T-Mo 3G, not so much in my area. So we are on Wi-Fi, so take that in consideration. But let's go to the mobile site anyway, just make sure, hey, look how quick that loads. If you didn't know, we do have a mobile site. There it is, m.androidcentral.com. And the browser works like an Android browser. No surprises here whatsoever. This phone is very snappy, so I've had zero complaints with it. Really, if you don't mind having MotoBlur on top of a phone and, most normal users don't, then this is actually a pretty darn good phone. And in fact, Moto Blur really isn't all that intrusive on here. So think of it more as services than front-facing stuff, and you can always change it up, right? So let's see, we do have Android 2.2 Froyo, so you won't be waiting for an update for that. That is nice to see. And what else? How about, let's check out the phone storage. There you go, not a whole lot of program memory left over, but of course you can install apps to the SD card, so that will help some. So, I mean, this isn't a high-end phone, right? It's a good, I'd call it a mid-level phone. Decent keyboard, actually. We're going to give it a full review later. You have profiles, just like were unveiled with the Droid Pro. So these are new. You can hop from one set of home screens to another, depending on your purpose, I guess. So you can have one for the weekend, one for while you're at work, so on and so forth. So it's a decent, mid-level phone. I think probably going to enjoy it as we give it the full review experience. You do have live wallpapers, though none are on there by default. So mid-level phone. I think we're going to like this. So that's it, and we'll be back later with more. See ya.